Hi folks, I'm Chief Kirk. Welcome to my channel. I appreciate you being here with me today. Now the other day I did a video on a little alcohol stove that I built from inspiration from Jiu-Jitsu 2000. And boy, that little thing worked like a charm. But I never fooled with an alcohol stove before, and I thought, well, I'd like to try one of the store-bought ones. So I went on Amazon, and I know the Trangia is a big name brand, and I looked at it and I thought that's really nice. But you know, while I was looking at it, I spotted another one, and I decided I wanted to go with this one. Now, this particular stove is a camping spirit stove, and it's a REDCAMP brand, a REDCAMP. I'd never heard of it, but I got to looking at it, and it had a few accessories with it that the Trangia didn't have, and plus, on top of having extra, it was cheaper. So I decided I'd give it a try. Now, I don't have a Trangia to try it side by side, so I can't do a side by side comparison. But I'm going to open this up and give it a try, and let's see how it works. Now, I've already had it open, and I've already been studying on it, and I haven't used it yet. I'm going to do that right now. But I also did a modification that I'd like to show you, which will work not only with this one, but a lot of other stuff too. First of all, this thing comes in a real neat looking little pouch. I like that. That's real neat. With a drawstring. And then this little jewel right here. One of the things that attracted me to this particular stove was the fact that it has this little stand with it. Now, if you get a Trangia stand, or I mean a Trangia stove, you've got to figure out some kind of a stand to put with it, or order one separately. You can order one separately, and it costs almost as much or more than the stove. But this one came with it, and again, it was cheaper. Now, well, this is a really nice looking little stove. It seals up. It's got O-ring inside to keep it from spilling. And then it has this, which will snuff it out. Or you can also, and this folds over so you don't get burned messing with it, this also will swivel so you can adjust how much flame you want. And I think that's kind of neat. So anyhow, now this thing also comes with it's got little lips on the inside of this thing. And what they do is when you set your stove in there, the stove has a ridge here, and it keeps it elevated. Now, with it elevated, if the stove gets hot, it's not going to burn what's underneath it, which I think that is kind of a cool idea. Plus, it adds for ventilation, too. This is a really neat little stove. Now I'm going to show you what I discovered. Now, I also have a couple of other stoves. I have a little wood stove put out by UST that came from Walmart that is an awesome little stove. And one of the problems is with some of these stoves, not that particular one, because it goes in and out for whatever size cup you're using. But this one is stable. It don't move in and out. So what I had to do is I had these little tent stakes that I bought at Walmart. They're less than $1 a piece. And you can take these things and lay them on here and now you've got a stable place to set your cup or your pot or whatever. Now if it's something big like a frying pan, you don't have no problem with it. But now I went one step further than this. I got to thinking that, you know, being a frugal kind of person and trying to save every penny I can, I thought, well, wouldn't this work just as good with some coat hangers, some wire coat hangers. Now the thicker ones I'm sure would be better and more stable. But before I tried that, and that would work great, just cut you some things of off a coat hanger and put on there, and that'll work just great. But what I did was I invented a little jewel. This came from my neighbor had a thing to put in the ground for his tomatoes to climb up, and he cut it up into little long pieces. So what I did was I took my pliers, because this is kind of thick, and what I did was I designed this thing so that it lays on here just like this. Now I can set a cup, I can set a pot, and of course if something is large and I don't need this at all, I can take it off. But that is just handy dandy right there. And I'll show you. If I want to boil water in my canteen cup, just like that, no problem at all, and that's so stable. And if I want to use a smaller cup, I can do the same thing. But of course a frying pan will fit right on here without any problem. Now I'm going to see how this thing burns. What I'm going to use for fuel is this heat. And there's a whole lot of different places you can buy this. I got this particular one at Walmart, less than $2. Now the reason I'm using this, alcohol, rubbing alcohol will work, and so will several other. Denatured alcohol is really good. This stuff is supposed to be the best. And the reason I use this one is because if you use this, it doesn't blacken, it doesn't put off smoke and blacken the bottom of your pot or your cup or whatever you're using. So this is the best for it. Now I'm just going to put just a little bit in there. And I'm going to set it off to the side so that no flames can get to it. Now what you need to do before you get everything set up here and get this thing lit up, you need to get it set in the holder and get everything the way you want it. This thing I won't need until I get ready to snuff it out. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try, the little stove that I built worked real good lighting it with a ferro rod, and that's what I'm going to do. But if it doesn't work real good, I've got a little lighter handy here. So let's see if it'll do it. Yep, that lit it. Just that one spark. Or at least I'm pretty sure it did. You can't see those flames because, all Oh, but now the winds come. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's working. One little spark. That's kind of cool. Now, as windy as it is, it would be hard to get anything going real fast because the wind's blowing it away. But anyhow, I have accomplished what I wanted to show you, and that is to build a little stove, or not build a little stove, but try out this little stove. And my little trick right here works really good. I love it. I don't have a patent on that, so feel free to make your own. And now I'm going to snuff it out, and I'm going to use this little jewel right here to do that. Just as simple as that. Anyhow, I've got to give a really high rating on this little REDCAMP stove. Now, again, I don't have anything to compare it to, but I can tell you I like it. It would be really hard to beat in this kind of a stove. So anyhow, thanks for joining me and watching my little demonstration. I really enjoyed it. I hope you did. Till next time, thank you for watching. God bless you. And don't forget, tell somebody you love them. They may not be here tomorrow. Bye, y'all.